It's past 2 p.m. right here on Bright 98.7. I know most times at this hour you get to listen to the one and only UC Royal at this time, getting to talk about facts and all of that. We just had to bring in a special so we can actually break it down and talk about politics. Yes, today is Friday. Fridays are usually days for us to discuss a lot of things. And today we just had to bring a little bit of political discussion from our 8 o'clock hour onto this particular hour. Welcome to the show. My name is Simeon Sunday. Of course, I'll be holding forth from now till about 3 p.m. And after that, I will officially be handing over to UC Royal at 3 o'clock, especially for those who are looking out for job openings on the applicant. But for today, we have a special guest, and this is a special which we'll be doing for a couple of minutes before we get straight into our discussion this morning. And of course, talking with me this beautiful afternoon here on Bright 98.7, we have a special person who actually took out time to stop by our studios this afternoon, and we'll be having a conversation together for the next few minutes. Of course, we have Showunmi, a spokesperson for Atiku presidential campaign in 2019, and just recently he actually dropped the bomb that a lot of people have been reacting to and asking how will he do it. Anyway, he's here. He'll be talking about that today on the show. Good afternoon, Showunmi. You're welcome. Great to have you on the show today.
Good afternoon. It's nice to be here. You have such a lovely studio. I like.
Okay, thank you so much for that one. So now, before we continue, let's start with this. We've seen a lot of people talk about this, especially in our political dispensation. Since the beginning of our independence, we've always talked about zoning. It has become a conversation that almost every political analyst must always come across because of how delicate and dynamic our country is at this particular moment. And in a few months from today, we'll be actually moving into the political dispensation, talking about a new political dispensation. But prior to the elections in 2023, a lot of Nigerians have been talking about the validity of our elections and also the campaign for certain individuals from certain regions to actually grab the presidential ticket. We've seen so many groups talk about this. We've seen Ohanes and Igbo come out to talk about zoning, how the power should be zoned, especially presidential ticket, to the southeast. We've heard Wike, who have actually declared his intention as well, talk about how the presidential ticket should be zoned to the south. We've seen individuals from the southwest also clamoring. Every region, the 6th geopolitical zone of the country right now, actually clamoring for the presidential ticket to come to its region. But now, looking at this, let's talk about this, in depth. The zoning, we all know it is not in the Constitution. It is not even justiciable in the first place. And we know that zoning is just a political construct created by political parties, one for the sake of equity and also for the sake of balance. So, positions can actually be rotated amongst the 6 political zones of the country. But now it has become the main conversation for the day, especially when it comes to our politics, where a lot of people want certain tickets to be zoned to its region. Now, looking at how it is, a lot of conversation have been had based on this. Some are saying this is what should be obtainable, despite the fact that it is not in the Constitution. But some are saying, rather than this, why don't we vote, look away from our political inclination and geographical inclination and start talking about competence of whoever will declare his intention for 2023?
You lost me.
Oh, okay. At this point,
you lost me in the sense that are we having an interview?
No.
Or are we having a conversation?
No, it's a question.
I can't really know. I followed you to a point.
Okay.
I wanted to figure out precisely which of the questions.
Now, what I'm saying,
just ask me the question.
Should
then
Nigerians go among geopolitical lines, that is the zoning formula, or should Nigerians actually vote and choose their candidate, even political parties, based on competence of the individual?
Thank you. Let me set some background for you. The whole business of what has now become very common and popular, even to non-political players, about zoning, started out in 1999. And the PDP was the first party to live the principle of zoning in a consistent manner. So it therefore says that that party believes in zoning. Now, what does zoning mean for PDP? For the People's Democratic Party of Nigeria, what they have tried to say with zoning is that, one, every office, especially the ones that are executive, has the right of first refusal for an incumbent. That means, for the purpose of our audience, if a South man were to win the governorship or the presidency of Nigeria, it will be expected that if he succeeds, he is entitled to a second term. So invariably, you can't zone him out of that opportunity that is guaranteed by our political construct. So PDP looks at zoning from an 8-year prism. Now, in 1999, there was a persuasion to zone to the southern part of the country. And a lot of people contested, including, of blessed memory, Alex Ekweme and Obasanjo won. By 2003, some people who may be aware even say that some people wanted the vice president for balancing then Atiku Abubakar, who was vice president, to even come and be president. The conversation is neither here nor there as to whether he even agreed or whether he stopped it. What I know from what I've heard from him is that he was the one who even persuaded the James Iboris and co's of this world that, look, we agreed on an 8-year zoning arrangement. Therefore, let's just stick with it. Now, by 2007, when the PDP then went north, I need you to put your eye on the other parties then, APC, ANPP, I know their names, they were ANPP and all of that. They kept going north. And then when we went north, they stayed north. We went north to Yaradua. Because of our principle of balancing, we balance up to the point of Christian, Muslim, Muslim, Christian, north, south. But Yaradua died. It was unfortunate. We lost him. May so rest in peace. Now, John Fidels be his portion. And automatically, the zoning became a little bit affected because the constitution does not imagine you can go and call somebody else who is not on that ticket. The constitution imagines it that it's a joint ticket. If you lose the candidate, the VP steps in. So automatically, we went to the south-south. By 2011, when he completed the term of Yaradua, there was a lot of arguments within the party as to whether they should drop Jonathan completely and let another man come and do that. But because of our principle of right of first refusal for an incumbent, Jonathan ended up being the candidate in 2011 on a fresh term, again in the South. By 2015, one of the vexatious conversations, people say that, oh, the Bukola Saraki and they left the party. By 2015, when it had become obvious to Northerners that they had only had perhaps 1 year plus with Yaradua, they wanted the power to come north. Again, incumbency and the politics of it, Jonathan was the candidate. They reacted by leaving to make it balanced, so what? And we still presented a southern candidate in 2015. Our rivals never bothered about zoning, never bothered about equity, never tried to give anything. They still stayed north. And that's why they stayed with Buhari. Now, we are in 2023. We're going towards 2023. I tell you with every conscience of mine that there is a southeastern legitimate agitation for power. I will never deny that. But the challenge now is this. Are we saying that when the PDP that has been zoning have always gone south, they do not have a right to use the second leg of the 2019 zoning that went north for the north? Or when we set up the Bala Mohammed report, the committee to go and look after the 2019 election, and they came out with, look, the way we're looking at things, the situation in the country will be so dire, you better just leave it open. Or are we saying that the committee that was set up, the autumn committee that was not newly set up to go look at zoning again, who have not been able to come up with their official white paper, but we get that it's still going to be, and the PDP is saying, okay, the challenges that we have in the country today demand that we must look for the best and wherever we can find him. In any case, upon opening up the sales of farms, we have seen that I can, on the top of my hand, count about 5 northerners who have indicated interest. Atiku Abubakar, Bukola Saraki, the governor of Bauchi State.
Even the Tambuwal.
I'm coming to that. What's his name? Bala Mohammed. I don't know why his name keeps skipping me, and he's my man. Bala Mohammed. We've also had Dr. Ayatuddin. We have Tambuwal, and who knows how many more. And on the southern side, we now have a good number of southeastern candidates. Peter Obi, Pius Ayim, Ogun, a lot of people. And ironically, we also have now somebody from the southwest, and we have Governor Ison Wike indicating interest from the south-south. If I'm not mistaken, I hear that there are a few more, Governor Otom, and the governor of Delta State, Governor Okonwa, is also now indicating interest. When you have that kind of scenario, you have to just leave it open, because you can't tell people not to exercise their right of franchise. But I believe that rather than get over ourselves and get exaggerated and waste energy and overwhelm the whole conversation of the country, we can trust the delegates. Delegates are harvested from all of the states, from all of the regions. And delegates are supposed to be people who are well aware of the contemporary issues of the nation. And therefore, it's not lost. There is no reason why anybody else can win in a delegate election. That's that. The second thing I want to say to you is that political parties don't have a universal zoning that they both subscribe to. It was the reason why I was showing you that while the PDP was going north and south, our rivals kept staying in one place. Why did they do that? They were doing that because they were looking for the voting numbers.
A lot of people say that was done because they needed the numbers. And now, there are speculations that the PDP would probably also be looking for the numbers come 2023. We've seen the PDP toe the route of the North in 2019 by fielding Atiku and the Peter Obi candidacy. And now, some were saying it was done. Peter Obi was drafted because of the Southeastern agitation, so as to balance it. And now in 2023, the conversation is going. We've heard so many groups, even the Oanis and Igbo, saying no, they will not accept any vice president position. Rather, it must be the presidential ticket in 2023. You've actually created, you gave us a backdrop history of how the zoning formula came about for the PDP. And now looking at it, you have actually said also that the Southeasterners have a legitimate claim to the presidential seat.
I didn't use the word claim. I said they have a legitimate reason.
Okay, legitimate reason to desire for that.
Just
for
as
that particular
the
position.
Just as the Northeast, who have never produced president, just as the North Central, who have never produced president in the country. I ask, what makes the Southeastern agitation superior to the agitation of the Northeasterners, who have also never produced president, or even superior to that of the North Central, who have not any democracy? Bottom line is this: in a democracy, power must be negotiated. I sometimes ask myself, what is the meaning of the nonsense of socio-cultural group jumping into the fray? Afenifere, Aneze, and all of these people. If you are that strong, form your own party. If you are not that strong, let the political parties play their politics. If you want to support your candidate, go all out and canvass for him, agitate for him, try and talk to delegate for him. But we will not have a democracy that is always undermined by elements that are not participating. Democracy and zoning of tickets is purely the absolute prerogative of political parties. APC will sit down and take its own zoning decision. PDP will do same, and so many other of the 18 parties will do same. Nobody is going to allow anybody to bully us with some sense of being more deserving than others. No one is more deserving than the other. The people that are deserving are Nigerians, and the people that will take that decisions are the delegate as a first step, and then the general population of the country in a larger election. It's beginning to get a bit tiring.
We know it's tiring. The point is, you cannot silence those voices. They will always keep talking about it. They will always agitate for their own candidate. But now, looking at the structure of zoning, we've seen the structure you've created, what you've actually played out for us to understand. The PDP started the zoning formula. What Southeasterners are asking at this particular moment, we saw the outcome of the Samuel Autumn zoning committee, which says at the moment, based on the report, said the tickets will be thrown open to all candidates.
Exactly.
And now Southeasterners are saying, we've seen so far in the PDP, we've seen sometimes, based on the zoning formula, the ticket has been zoned to regions. Why in 2023 will the zoning committee decide to throw the ticket open so anyone can actually throw in the towel?
I just told you now that we run an 8-year zoning arrangement because anybody who would have won has a right of first refusal. If we had not been robbed in 2019, according to what we believe, would anybody have said, if Atiku is entitled to a second term, would anybody have said he cannot run? And to bend backward over to accommodate these agitations and all of that, we're saying, wow, smelling the coffee, we cannot, remove anybody. And we're saying, we do not believe that we can micro-zone at this time. We're saying the issues on the table are very dire. We're saying we're looking for a Nigerian wherever we can find him. We're saying one region, no region can win alone. We're saying anybody that wants to win, go out there and talk to your brothers. We're saying nobody has a reason to feel he is or she is more deserving than the other. We're saying we have regional arrangements that have parties, and parties are free to do whatever they want in their region. I come from the southwestern region. My party, the PDP, hasn't been winning much there. It's been the progressive of the APC stock. We're saying in the southeast too, the APGA has been doing better than others. You can keep your agitation to your zones, and you can use your state tickets to do your agitation.
Not at the national level.
But you cannot bully a country that is divided into 6 geopolitical zones. If you want to say you've never produced president, we can show you other zones in the same Nigeria that has not produced president. And we're not going to eat this narrative perpetually, especially when it is coming in such a manner as if you want every other person to jettison their right so that you can then do what? You still have to win an election. It's not a single party. There's still the other party. You don't even know where the other party is going to put his own. At least we know for now that the PDP has said, let the best man win. Why do you think that the best man cannot be Igbo?
Okay, anyway, we're going to quick break. When we come back, we'll definitely continue the conversation right here. Okay, stay with us. We're having a special with Segun Showunmi. He is the spokesman, former spokesman, I beg your pardon, for the Atiku campaign organization in the 2019 election. Stay with us. We will be right back.
Find and like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram.
Tell your friends and family about us.
It's Bright 98.7.
The Zuma Film Festival is here again. From the heart of Abuja City comes the 12th edition of this unique event. Theme, Show the Money. Featuring Zuma Opening Night, Film Master Classes and Business Forum, Daily Film Screening, Annual Film Lecture and Lifetime Achievement Award. Date 1st to 7th May 2022 at Nikon Luxury Hotel and the International Conference Center, Abuja. Time from 8 a.m. each day. For participation and sponsorship, call 0803 504 6119, 0809 514 0664 or visit zumafilmfest.gov.ng. This event is powered by the Nigerian Film Corporation in collaboration with the Federal Capital Territory Administration. This Zuma Film Festival is unique. Get ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the all-new high-definition TSTV, Africa's digital satellite television provider. With more than 100 channels covering every aspect of life, TSTV offers viewing pleasure at all times for all demographics. Catch world-class sports, music, movies, news, children's, educational, religious, documentary, reality TV channels, and so much more on TSTV. It's all in high definition. For as little as ₦2, you can watch what you want, when you want, on our special bouquets, a la carte, PSU Go, and pay-per-view. Our TSTV rollout channels are available all over Nigeria and in most African countries. To be part of this viewing experience, pick up your TSTV decoders, accessories, and preloaded vouchers from our dealer shops nationwide at unbelievably affordable prices. For more information, download the TSTV app on Apple Store and Google Play Store. You can check out our website, www.tstvafrica.com, or hit us up at TSTV Africa on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or call 0990 40990. Telecom Satellite Television, TSTV, connecting your world.
You're welcome back. It's 27 minutes gone past 2 o'clock. My name is still Simeon Sunday, and of course, we are still having a conversation with Segun Showunmi as we're talking about, it's zoning or competence, and he has clearly, he has been very vocal about his stand on this particular issue, that at this point, the PDP should not be bullied by anybody or any region, especially when it comes to the decision on zoning. We've seen the outcome of the Benue State, run, that is summer Autumn Zoning Committee, and their stand on the issue of zoning. Now, let's talk about this as well before we get to talk about your gubernatorial, aspiration in 2023 as well. So now let's start with this. We've seen what has played out so far with the PDP, especially still on the zoning, and we've heard so many statements and some speculations are actually saying the PDP are actually throwing their tickets open because, one, remember at this point they are the opposition, and a lot of political analysts have actually said the PDP has never found themselves in the position of opposition at all before now, prior to the 2015 election that actually brought in President Muhammadu Buhari, and at this point it is difficult for the PDP to effectively oppose the ruling party. And they've also made statement that by this, and this is why they've decided to throw their tickets open. So first, they can get an individual based on the party primaries, despite those who have actually aspired to be president, to throw it to a particular region. So now, how true is this particular statement? Some are saying this ticket is to go to a particular region, despite the fact there are speculations that there is an agenda to have another candidate in 2023.
Northern, you mean?
Yes.
Okay, look. One of the things that make democracy beautiful is that those that are participating in the play and those that are outside the fence and those that are rabble-rousers, media people, beer apologists, market women, everybody's voice must be heard because they can bring an opinion to the discourse. But when you invite someone like me, then you know that what I will be telling you is, to the best of my understanding, the reality as it is with our party. That's not what we're doing. And I dare tell you, it is too ambitious, almost bordering on arrogance, for any individual as of today, the state of the play, to be so sure that he can win the delegate election. The PDP 2023 delegate election is going to be so competitive that may God help the winner. What do I mean? Everybody's moving. You will ignore Nyesom Wike, the governor of Rivers State. You must be joking. You will ignore Peter Obi. You must be joking. You will ignore Atiku Abubakar. Do that at your own peril. You will ignore Bukola Saraki. Sit down there. You will ignore Bala Mohammed. Okay. You will ignore the governor of the Governors Forum, Tambuwal, former speaker, 2 times governor. Okay. look, we are not our rivals. Our rivals will cocoon themselves onto public space, on the big stage, in Eagle Square, and start disgracing us because we are all Nigerians and the world is a global village now, and put up a show of shame that they're trying to tell us is democracy. This is not PDP. Until the last man has said, I'm doing consensus, we have shown and we have demonstrated that we have the ability to allow the collegiate of delegates to have their way. And you must be clairvoyant to know who a delegate will vote for now. We have every damn piece of the people there are very, very competent. And if you want me to speak on behalf of Atiku, since that's the last responsibility people know me as, I can tell you for free, we're not taking it for granted. Atiku Abubakar is not taking it for granted that the ticket is in the bag. No, he's doing all the hard work that he needs to do. If you want me to speak on behalf of Governor Yusuf Wike, you will be surprised at the amount of engagement I know he's doing now. Or is it Bukola Saraki? PDP is a pan-Nigerian political party. If I tell you that we will not be bullied, it's because there is no agitation for leading Nigeria in the southeast. With profound respect to them, that is more important than the agitation of those in the northeast. You've had from memory, you've had Azikwe there. You've even had some military one like Agbin Rossi or whatever, as a few others. You've had a vice president from Ekweme in the history of this country. What have they even had in the northeast? Apart from Tafawa Balewa, that one person, they've not had any other thing until they got Atiku Abubakar, who was vice president.
You know, we are still talking about the democratic dispensation.
The point I'm making for you is that has the northeast provided precedent in the democratic dispensation, or has the north central produced it? So why is the southeastern agitation better than or more superior to that? And the PDP trying to be sensitive, to manage everybody, to carry everyone along, to encourage every man, to tell everybody that you can't win it by yourself. You need to go to other zones. So you want to sit down in Abeokuta and be screaming that you are being marginalized so that people in Sokoto will know you want to be president? If you want to be president of Nigeria, you crisscross the country. You speak on issues. You talk as a pan-Nigerian. You don't discuss from a deservation of an ethnic agenda which is deeply rooted to a victim mentality that has occurred as a result of the Civil War. And for the purpose of this conversation, was the Civil War a war that was fought by one person? Was it not a war that was fought by two sides? Okay, we've not handled it well. Fine. We will need to do some things, in my opinion, to do a closure on that. But nobody's going to come here and make us seem like we've not made any progress since then. We've made a whole lot of progress. All the parts of Nigeria has made a lot of progress. There's hardly any major town you get to in Nigeria, you don't find thriving Easterners there. Who's driving anybody? Now, if we're talking about the presidency of Nigeria, we don't need a Nigerian that will be for all Nigerians. A Nigerian that will talk about the country being first, that will talk about unity for us all, and will bring competence. And I tell you, I've seen the CV of some of the Igbos of the Southeasterners. They are damn competent too, but they need to go and look for the votes. Everybody else is looking for it.
Okay, so all you're saying is, despite all the agitation, it's time for you to keep the agitation aside.
The agitations are for civil society
and not
are for ethnic groups. If they want to be militia, okay, but politics.
No, we would advise.
We have agitations that are militarized already. We're just trying to control that. I'm just trying to tell you that that's the extent it goes. But when it comes to politics and political party, power has to be negotiated. You need to go to people. You need to beg them. You need to show them your viewpoint. You need to let them know they can trust you. You need to let them know that you have an agenda that works. You need to let them know that you can bring numbers from your zone. You need to let them know that you will be for everybody. You can't stand on one spot and be trying to make everybody victim just because you choose to be victims.
Okay, you can be for everybody and not for nobody at the same time.
That's Buhari, not us. We are for everybody, and we are indeed fair to everybody, and we have always been fair to everybody. Let me give you one quick one. Do you know that every time the PDP has power, we actually divide the first top 6 position in the country? One person gets president, another zone gets vice, one gets speaker, another one gets senate president, one gets chairman of party, another one gets one other position, and maybe secretary to the government. That's how we share these things. It's all part of making the country, united. The reason why this agitation is very loud now is because of the excessive nepotism by which the ruling APC started with.
Okay, now still talking about nepotism, you've actually, brought me to my next question. And we've seen a lot of Nigerians vote along ethnic lines and religious lines and several lines. But now, looking at the race for 2023, what should Nigerians look out for, notwithstanding the political party at this point, especially when they want to vote their choice come 2023?
But you don't have independent candidates, so you will have to look at political parties. There's no question of not looking at political parties. And therefore, what I'll say to Nigerians, what I've been saying to Nigerians, 2023 is a referendum. It has to be a referendum on how you've been feeling in the last couple of years, how you've been feeding in the last couple of years, how much you've been paying for stuff in the last couple of years, how safe you've been in the last couple of years, and how happy you've been in the last couple of years, and how hopeful you are in the next couple of years. Once you can answer that question on a personal level, at a granular personal level, you know what to do with your PVC. But if you ask me, I'll tell you, back anybody PDP brings, because in the minimum, you'll be treated like a human being. No one is going to reduce it to a dot. No one is going to say he's prefer only the brilliant people come from one zone and not the other. Where you have most of the education, you can't find the ministers. Where you have the least educated people, that's where you're having all of the people that are the top players. Listen, we now have two big parties that can contend for power. The one that has demonstrated that it has a heart for Nigerians and is even reasonable and responsible and able to solve some of the problems. They've not solved it all. They've made some mistakes in the past, but they're still trying. Just look at how they're even handling opposition work. Gone are the days when just because they want to take power, they call people out to the street and just make a mess of the country. If Nigeria implodes, how would you even roll it? We have been very matured in opposition. We've been commenting on issues. We've been writing. We've been speaking. We've been, advocating. We've been doing everything. The only thing we have not done is use inappropriate language or try to implode the country. It was their style, and we're trying to teach them, now that we're in opposition, that ideological differentiation is the basis of opposition democratic politics. It doesn't have to be pulling down. It doesn't have to be making the country ungovernable. We've never done that, and we will never do that. So for 2023, I recommend vehemently the PDP for Nigerians, and I trust you. Trust me, whoever emerges on that ticket, don't give up. I have people that I know that they just need a little push. You can crowdfund them. You can push them. You can support them. You can do whatever you can to support your candidate. But you cannot and will not allow anybody to bully us. This is the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's a country that belongs to many ethnic groups. There are smaller ethnic groups that don't even have the boastfulness of being one of the majority. Does that make them any less qualified? There is an Ibira man in APC now. His name is Yaya Bello. He's done declaration. He says he wants to be president. When I look at him, I don't know whether they will give him, but I always say to myself, I have to applaud him for courage. I'm not marking him on any other thing, but just that as a young person, he even has the audacity to even think he can do it. If he sat down there and said, oh, we are Ibira, they never Kogi people, Igala people will not let us, Yoruba will not let us, Igbo will not let us. Do you think they will even try?
Okay, that's good to know. Now, let's move away from the zoning and competency.
Thank you.
You've actually talked about what Nigerians should actually look out for in 2023. And although you strongly recommend your party, which is always expected. And now let's talk about your political ambition in 2023, talking about yours now. Just recently you declared your intention to be the governor of Ogun State. Since you made this declaration, I've actually read several reports. Some quoted that you said this, and one that actually was laughable. When I saw it, I actually laughed because knowing your kind of person, a lot of people will say this is something that Showunmi could actually say. Right. But I actually put it to you that you said the government of Dakwa Abiodun the current governor of the state, is the government is running the state as a level 13 civil servant. So when I saw that statement, that headline, I laughed at first and I said, why will you make that particular statement about Dakwa Abiodun? So when you want to succeed.
Thank you. First of all, it is rude to think that a level 13 civil servant is not a respected civil servant. If you told somebody that is in the civil service, that is trained well, that as a level 13 officer, that, oh, go and prepare the voucher to pay salaries, he can do it. If you told somebody that is a level 13 civil servant and said, oh, this is a contract, give an approval to any of these your friends to build this road and pay them, he can do it. If you told a level 7 civil servant, come and cut the tape and carry your wife around and dance around and show like you're very busy, he can do it. I meant it, not to say that, oh, he's so lowly. No, I meant it, and I still insist that we haven't seen any radical transformational ideas that you're going to use to leapfrog a subnational economy that is very close to Lagos, but is not performing as well as Lagos. You are going to, I'm saying that because I'm saying that, look, you can't insist that it's only the traditional ways of doing things that is the only way. You can't have security challenges and not be thinking out of the box. You can't have your borders the way they are and not think what you're going to do about them. You cannot have the zero tourism marketing idea and think that with all of the tourism potentials you have there, you won't do that. That's what I was saying. I wasn't saying that he was a level 13 officer, and I wasn't saying that maybe as a level 13 officer he can't lead also. I was saying everything he's doing is very average, and I was asking for
that anybody can actually
that anybody can do it, and I didn't say a level 10 because I thought maybe a level 10 would not have had that experience of preparing vouchers. If you go to any federal service or even to the state ones, you will find out that people that are in level 13, they're the ones that are even punching and clicking and running this figure. So what's the big deal if you're paying salary? Is that where governance ends? What's the big deal if you're commissioning road? When you're having people being killed and you have security issues of that nature, you're not thinking of how to expand your ability to run. What kind of public-private sector partnership are you doing when all you're trying to do is favor your friends? My idea is that even if you want to run public-private partnership, you must make the state so attractive, so easy to access that even you, my friend, if you were to go there with an idea you wanted to run, that you won't need to be having a lot of reptipism and bureaucracy that will require you to know anybody. The system must be open to such a manner that if you come in there, they can quickly take a decision on whether the ideas you are bringing work for them, if there are commitments they can give or they can afford to give, and then you can get it done quickly. You need to have smart government. You need to have government that reacts very quickly. You cannot have this myriad of problems and then think that, oh, just because you've been decorated as a governor, that means that that's a wonderful thing and everybody must clap for you. And I did say, what I have seen is not more than level 13. And I can even give you two more examples. You're running Ogun State as governor. All of your towns that touch Lagos, you have not gone in there to stabilize them. So you're driving in from Lagos Express Road. Immediately you go past the Lagos end of it, you start to see the Ogun end looking like an unplanned shanty. Why should that be so? You have a ministry, a bureau of public, what they call them, these people that land town planners. You have a bureau of regional and town planners. You could go there and stabilize it. If you're coming from the other end that goes through Otta, immediately you go past the Lagos end. It's the same thing you see. Okay. So if you're a governor and you are not seeing that the fringes around your borders have been left abandoned, you expect me to say that you are genius material?
Okay, still looking at this, you've mentioned so many things that are not working in Ogun State, and looking at what you likened is kind of leadership to it's what a lot of Nigerians are asking questions. But away from that now, let's look at the theme of your campaign. A lot of people have been following you closely, know your mantra has always been not change. Actually, your mantra has been a new idea, basically new ideas and sincerity and all of that. So looking at this, can you actually elaborate on what, especially the new idea you've been pushing forward since you made your ambition known to residents of Ogun State?
God bless you. I've asked myself and the people of Ogun State for a while, that if Obafemi Awolowo give us free education from primary school, and we're gone past 60 years of doing that, and we're seeing that out of school is spiking, and that we're not really doing anything fantastic in terms of education, I've asked myself that where's the problem? Research has showed me that the problem is with early education. Because when you start at 6, what about the kids that couldn't go to nursery school from 2 to 4? By the time they get to the public primary school at age 6, just follow me on this. Your child has gone to nursery school because you could pay. My child, God forbid, hasn't gone because I couldn't pay. And then they meet on the platform of a primary school at the age of 6. Your child wants to wee-wee. She's been taught from nursery to tell the teacher, Auntie, I want to wee-wee. What will my child say? Whatever my child says in our native language or in your language or in any of the languages, everybody will start laughing at him. From that instance, you've started taking his confidence away from education. So I say to them, you can't claim you are Awolowo's children if you think Awolowo's philosophy is stagnant. You have reached a point now where we must do free nursery school. And it's not that expensive. The federal government already helps us with SUBEB. It's the SUBEB money you guys are even using to do your renovation. You might as well take a chunk of it, a small percentage of it, go to a ward, ask the people to give you land, put up a structure for a nursery school, and tell the children of the poor to come there. You can fund it easily, and you can populate it by getting nurses and getting people to just look after them so that you are leveling the disadvantage. That's one. I've asked another question on the health. Okay, where does the health budget of a state, where does it touch the citizen tangentially? Where does the health budget of this country touch you? If you fall ill, you have to find your own money. If you want to buy the drug, you have to find your own money. God forbid, if there's an accident, an emergency, they will still be harassing your family that brought you there for the money. So looking at that, I said, okay, we're at a point now where we need to make sure that our monies that we want to spend for health touches the people tangentially. Maybe they get rebates when they take their card to the pharmacy, and they will just give them a percentage or whatever, so that at least they know that they're getting something. I've asked, okay, government has the right to have federal police, so you don't have policing at the state. I want them to change that, but is that the reason why you can't come up with anything creative? Do you know how much crime you're going to stop or prevent just by having a biometric capture of the citizen of your state to a verifiable address? What that means is that if anybody goes and commits a crime for whatever reason, in spite of all of our effort at reorientation and all that, you can just go back to the tribesman and find him.
Okay.
The sureness of being found will reduce the number of people who just want to go commit crime. One of the things that the crime is so high is that everybody commits it and everybody thinks they can get away with it. But if you could find him to an address, if you could identify that it was him, do you know what happened? You will minimally make him a fugitive because he has to run.
Okay.
And then there's so much more. So these are the kinds of radical ideas,
amazing ideas
that we're saying that it's time to now practice. And for me, all I want really is for the people of Ogun State, first my party members to take a decision, then I'll take mine, post the primaries. If I win, I'll go and be contesting. If I don't win, I'll take a decision after that. But more than all of this, I'm tired of having us have political conversation around the election that is empty. Okay. You just bring people into big rallies, maximum space, 50,000, they scream, they don't talk about the issues, they don't detail it down, they don't explain the why. So that's why I'm running, and I'm running on brand new deal.
Brand new deal.
Sincerely said, with bold ideas.
Oh, okay, so now we've seen this before we open the phone line for 10 minutes, so we get the reactions of our callers, because we have been talking, we did not even know that the time has gone.
Yeah, it's always like that with a good interviewer and a good speaker.
Now, let me quickly touch on this. Prior to this time, even before Dapo Abiodun became the governor of the state in 2019, for those who actually followed him keenly, we saw some, it wasn't even a normal jamboree. We saw some actually put out blueprints. This is what I want to do for the state. They got into power, and residents of the state are saying this is not what you promised us. We are not seeing that.
That's true.
Now what makes you, Segun Showunmi, different? Because we've seen your blueprints, we've heard all the ideas, amazing ideas you've actually spewed.
Well, you can notice that I'm not just telling you I'm going to give you good health. I'm telling you how. I'm not just telling you I'm going to be radical in education. I'm telling you in what direction and how. I'm not just telling you I'm going to secure you. I'm telling you what we will do to make it easier for us to secure you. That's who I am. Look, I was in Oyo a couple of days ago, and I saw the governor of Oyo State, and before I saw him, I just thought to look around the town. Do you know one thing he has done that I'm just going, really? Dude, you've been doing this and I didn't know? I need to start screaming your name all over Nigeria. You know what he did? He did a project called Light Up Oyo. I've heard I did it, but it didn't really hit me what the full implication was until I went there. You know what the implication was? Almost everywhere you turned on all the busy road, you had like lights that were this bright. And I noticed immediately that a second layer of economy sprang up called the night economy. More nightclubs, more eateries, more lounges across that. And I noticed that people were, listen, just from that alone, do you know how much you keep people that are just raping and doing stupid things, smoking drugs, stabbing people, mugging them, stealing? Do you know how much you just keep them off the space just because somebody can see them? I'm trying to say to you, my friend, and to Nigerians and Ogun indigenous.
And they're actually listening because they're also live on TSD.
Ogun, Nigeria indeed. One of the reasons why I'm even contesting is that I've noticed that we're all quick to insist that the federal government is not doing well. But upon sober reflection, it is always the federal government, be it the PDP federal government or even the Buhari federal government, that does more than all of the states. So I've been asking myself, okay, if this is what the federal government is doing, what are you guys doing in the states? We have 36 states for Abuja. If everybody just got busy fixing their states, we wouldn't even have a need for a federal government. But we're not fixing our states. We're all pampering our own thieves in our state. We're all pretending as if the guy in Abuja is supposed to come and help us sweep the street when it's dirty. I was in Uyo the other day. I noticed how clean it was. And I kept saying to myself, take me to the rural area. When I got to the rural area, I thought I'll meet it dirty. It was clean. So I asked, guys, do you guys sweep the floor every hour? How do you do it?
Okay.
You know what they told me? They have a personal etiquette and orientation towards cleanliness. They clean their body, they clean their environment. I said to myself, I have a model here. I'm going home to go and talk to them that we should now start to do serious reorientation, advocacy, information sharing on the need to be clean. You can't be just this dirty and expect the federal government to come and clean it for you. So there are things that needs to be done. The government has to be really busy. I doubt if I can even have time to be attending meetings in Abuja. I want to run Ogun State as if it's a country. And I want to have somebody that is like a prime minister that can go do all those things where I border on policy and supervision. I need to rescue my people. Small children are stabbing themselves in school. People are killing themselves with cultists, and I'm supposed to be looking at the federal government? Hell no.
Anyway, you can join the conversation this afternoon. The number to call to be a part of the show. You have any question for Segun Showunmi right here, you can actually hit us up via the number 081-301-11724. We have less than 5 minutes to do this, so we'll just actually open the phone line quickly. And if you call in, you just have about 60 seconds to make your point or ask whatever question you have for him or make your submission. 081-301-11724. 081-301-11724. You can also drop a message via text or via WhatsApp on our WhatsApp and text platform. The number is 070-3372-8313. Hello, good morning to you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Great to have you on the show today. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Gerard.
Okay, Gerard.
I'm calling from Suleja.
Okay, you have just 60 seconds, please. Be snappy.
Yes, thank your guest in the studio. He has made elaborate explanation on what we need to do to go forward. I want to ask him, he said, why are the Southeast being agitated? Yes, most of the time we talk about zoning to the north and to the west. Now, the north has ruled us for 8 years, and everybody is saying, okay, it is the turn of the South to rule us. Is it not fair that if South now, the Southwest has been president in this democracy, South has been president. It's only Southeast. When it comes back to the North can start also agitating. But what we are saying now, right now, that North has ruled us for 8 years. It is supposed to be the South. And when it comes to South, Southwest has taken South are taking their own shot. Why wouldn't you allow Southeast because of fairness? He said that each time they want everybody
okay, thank you. I think we've gotten your question. We'll just
Thank you
address
very
it.
much. That has been my position. This position has been my position. My position has been that if we must go south, we don't need to be begging and pleading. It means we're going southeast. But if we are to throw it open, then we must be thinking about the other zones that have not produced. I have not eliminated or said we shouldn't have a southeastern president. No. All I'm saying is that in a democracy, this is not a militaristic system. You have to negotiate power. In negotiating power, you need to go out. You need to canvass. You need to visit people.
Hello, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. You're welcome. Please, you have 60 seconds. Go straight to the point, please.
Okay, yeah, my name is Tony.
Okay, Tony, you're welcome.
Yeah. I want to, I really appreciate your guest in the studio. I so much appreciate his thoughts about the whole political situation right now within the PDP. Let me just hit the point. And there is a kind of advice to him. Me, I personally am from Southeast. I would have loved to have the president from Southeast. But the advice I want to give to PDP now is this. If truly they want to take power, they shouldn't focus on a region. I like the way they chose it open. All they needed is someone who can collect power back from APC. It doesn't matter where the person is coming from. Because if they want to say this thing must come from Southeast, fine, there are competent people from Southeast. There are good people there. But the question is, who? Because that was what APC did 2015. They look for someone who is capable, who has the crowd, who can, be able to collect power from PDP. So they are supposed to do the same thing. And again, one thing I want to note is this. Why is it that this the PDP as an opposition till now are not doing what APC did during 2015 by putting pressure on them
in order to make sure that
in order to make sure that the election has to go free and fair.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. The question is asking, why is the opposition not putting... okay.
The first is that, gentlemen, thank you for your question. We have thrown it open for exactly the same set of reasons. Nobody is eliminated. The second on the PDP is not like APC. We can never be like them. We shouldn't even look for somebody that is like them. Can you imagine if we had been calling people out every day? Do you know what will happen in the country?
Some will actually say the opposition, the APC, it's a conglomerate of different political parties.
No, the problem with the APC, really...
Well, the PDP
the problem with the APC is that they were doing all that nonsense when we were in charge and we could manage it. If we try to bring people out, they will just be killing them. Ordinary small NSAS, young people. You saw how that ended. So you want us to bring the people out and then the country will become...
Okay, let's take this last call for today.
PDP is not APC.
Hello, good.
We are a decent, disciplined, progressive, democratic, cultured party.
Okay,
we speak about issues.
Okay.
We discuss ideas. We don't do brigandage. We don't call people out. We don't suck baboon in the ocean. We don't kill people. We don't incite Nigeria. We do not destroy the country.
Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you. Yes, please, you have 30 seconds. You are the last caller for today. Just go ahead.
Yes, I did your guest. My name is Kevin, calling from Maraba.
Okay, Kelvin from Maraba, go ahead.
I want to appreciate him. But however, just like you asked him, it sounds very sweet. Because he's not been there. Now he has the time to come to the studio and sit down and give us all the analysis, all the good qualities that he has. What happened when he steps in there? Go to him to seek for an interview, you don't have access. And this idea of a Southeast baby is very, very right. You don't go begging. You don't go asking any kind that they should give you power. Go out there, reach out to other regions, and then create a sound platform for you to come out and become a president. Thank you. Have a
Okay, thank you.
When I get into power, I will not be accessible. I guarantee you I'm accessible. If you say, oh, they always say it like that, is that the reason why I will not even try? I have never been someone who is not comfortable of holding his views. And I expect that the people who have known me over the years have known that I've had courage of confidence. While other aspirants, every damn one of them, always jumps from one party to the other. I've been here. I've been standing firm with PDP since it was incorporated. I've never left. Sometimes I've cried when my friends left because I value them and their political power. But I will still stay. I've had the courage of staying for PDP. I've been advocating for them. I've been speaking for them. And right now, I am sincerely set to run Ogun if they give me the chance. I can't imagine wanting to do a difficult job and asking that I want to do it or that. Nope. I want to redirect it, but they need to also take a stand. Okay. Help me do it. Thank you very much.
Ogun State, your son is here. He has actually made his intention known. And for those watching live on TSTV channel 101, even in Ogun State at the moment, yes, people are actually watching in Ogun State as well. And they've heard you, speak fluently about your plans for the state. Hopefully, after the primaries and everything, we get to see you emerge. And you've actually said, even if you do not emerge as the candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the gubernatorial election, he'll go in, re-strategize, and make a decision known. Exactly. That was what you said.
Mean that I know who I will never support to lead Ogun. I will never have my state be in the hands of someone that I know cannot do better than the man that is there now.
Okay.
That is absolute.
Anyway, thank you so much for being a part of the show. Thank you, Segun Showunmi, for coming on.
I enjoyed myself thoroughly. It was quite good.
It has been a great time talking to you. Of course, this is just a special. We had him today, and for those who said he is not accessible, we had to drag him into the studio today. He's accessible, very accessible, I can tell you. Thank you for coming again. Of course, I'll be back here on Monday for another edition of Bright Republic. I've been saying good mornings because I'm usually here in the mornings. We just had to have